Tetapi kini bertambah satu kesulitan lain yang memberatkan fikiran. Ayah mereka semakin bimbang tentang wang. Elizabeth tahu tak kala ayah mengambil buku The Patronage, dia ingin melupakan masalah hutang piutang yang bertimbun dengan rakam perniagaannya dan mengelak memikirkan bayangan tersirat yang diberikan daripada ejennya, Tuan Shepherd. Hartanah Kelly Lynch masih bernilai, tetapi tidak berpadanan dengan keadaan meruncing yang diperlukan Sir Walter sebagai pemiliknya. Semasa hayat Lady Elliot, ada kaedah, langkah penjimatan dan berhemat dalam mengawal perbelanjaan mengikut pendapatan. Langkah-langkah bijaksana itu nampaknya turut mati bersama Lady Elliot. Semenjak itu, Sir Walter sentiasa berbelanja berlebihan. Tidak mungkin dia kurang berbelanja. Tidak boleh menyalahkannya juga kerana dia berbuat demikian kerana mengikut kehendak martabat kebangsawanannya. Dia bukan saja semakin lemas dalam hutang, bahkan keadaan hutang piutangnya semakin memburuk. Harta sia-sia untuk cuba menyembunyikannya lagi dari pengetahuan Elizabeth. Suatu di kota pada musim bunga yang lalu, Sir Walter telah membayangkan keadaan itu pada Elizabeth. Malah dia terlajak berkata, boleh tak sekiranya kita berjimat cemat? Adakah kamu fikirkan apa-apa yang mengurangkan perbelanjaan? Elizabeth berasa cemas kerana berdasarkan naluri perempuannya, buat julung kali mengesan bahaya dan terus memeras otak tentang langkah seterusnya. Akhirnya, dia mencadangkan dua tindakan ekonomi dengan memangkas perbelanjaan berkaitan kebajikan yang tidak perlu dan tidak lagi mengganti perabot baharu untuk ruang tamu. Untuk seterusnya menggembirakan Elizabeth iaitu dengan tidak membawa hadiah yang telah menjadi tradisi lazim tahunan kepada Anne. Namun betapa hebat pun langkah-langkah ini masih tidak mencukupi untuk menyelesaikan jumlah hutang yang sebenar-benarnya. Lambat laun rahsia itu terpaksa diakui oleh Sir Walter kepada anaknya. Elizabeth menemui jalan buntu. Dia berasa dianiaya dan ditimpa malang. Begitu juga perasaan Sir Walter. Kini mereka berdua tidak lagi berdaya untuk mengurangkan perbelanjaan tanpa menjejaskan martabat mereka atau melepaskan keselesaan yang telah dinikmati sejak azali. Sir Walter hanya boleh menjual sebahagian kecil daripada hartanahnya. Namun, sekiranya setiap ekar dipindah milik pun tidak akan dapat mengubah keadaan. Dia berkenan untuk mencagarkan sejauh seperti mana yang termaktub dalam bidang kuasanya. Tetapi dia tidak mahu menjualnya. Tidak sama sekali. Dia tidak rela menjatuhkan nama baiknya. Estate Kelly Lynch wajar diserahkan sepenuhnya sebagaimana dia telah menerimanya. Dua orang sahabat baiknya, Tuan Shepherd yang tinggal di pekan berdekatan dan Lady Russell dipanggil untuk memimpin mereka. Kedua bapa dan anak ini nampaknya mengharapkan keajaiban daripada salah seorang mereka untuk menutup aib dengan tindakan penjimatan tanpa mengorbankan apa-apa bentuk kemewahan ataupun harga diri mereka sendiri. But now, another occupation and solicitude of mind was beginning to be added to these. Her father was growing distressed for money. She knew that when he now took up the baronetage, it was to drive the heavy bills of his tradespeople and the unwelcome hints of Mr. Shepherd, his agent, from his thoughts. The Kelly Lynch property was good, but not equal to Sir Walter's apprehension of the state required in its possessor. While Lady Elliot lived, there had been method, moderation, and economy, which had just kept him within his income, but with her had died all such right-mindedness, and from that period he had been constantly exceeding it. It had not been possible for him to spend less. He had done nothing but what Sir Walter Elliot was imperiously called on to do, but blameless as he was not only growing dreadfully in debt, but was hearing of it so often that it became vain to attempt concealing it longer, even partially, from his daughter. He had given her some hints of it the last spring in town. He had gone so far even as to say, "Can we retrench? Does it occur to you that there is any one article in which we can retrench?" And Elizabeth, to do her justice, had, in the first ardour of female alarm, set seriously to think what could be done, and had finally proposed these two branches of economy: to cut off some unnecessary charities and to refrain from new furnishing of the drawing-room, to which expedients she afterwards added the happy thought of their taking no present down to Anne, as had been the usual yearly custom. But these measures, however good in themselves, were insufficient for the real extent of the evil, the whole of which Sir Walter found himself obliged to confess to her soon afterwards. Elizabeth had nothing to propose of deeper efficacy. She felt herself ill-used and unfortunate, as did her father, and they were neither of them able to devise any means of lessening their expenses without compromising their dignity or relinquishing their comforts in a way not to be borne. There was only a small part of his estate that Sir Walter could dispose of, but had every acre been alienable, it would have made no difference. He had condescended to mortgage as far as he had the power, but he would never condescend to sell. No, he would never disgrace his name so far. The Kelly Lynch estate should be transmitted whole and entire as he had received it. Their two confidential friends, Mrs. Shepherd, who lived in the neighbouring market town, and Lady Russell, were called to advise them, and both father and daughter seemed to expect that something should be struck out by one or the other to remove their embarrassments and reduce their expenditure without involving the loss of any indulgence of taste or pride.